Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of 2020.
Hey now.
Yes.
Oh baby, I'm Rob.
I'm Kaleb.
And I'm Andi.
And this is
Everybody in the Conference Room.
That's right. Guys, welcome to the show. I feel like before we do anything, let's get all of the podcast like hiatus cliches out of the way.
Okay.
Like, is there anybody?
It's not because I had warts.
Is there anybody even listening? Is anybody even listening anymore? Oh my gosh.
Everybody canceled.
Did we forget how to do this?
Oh, we did.
It
feels weird.
Do we even know how to do this anymore?
I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just staring at my computer.
We never do, though. We just show up, and we're here, and we're doing the best we can.
And do we know what we're selling? No, it doesn't matter. But I'm here. I'm
I
going
had
to
to
give it my
Uber
best.
here, even though this is 2 miles from my house.
Exactly. And you own a car.
I know. I didn't even know how to drive here.
Oh my gosh, guys! Welcome. Welcome to.
Does Rob even know what he's doing?
Welcome to the first episode of 2020. Thank you guys for your patience and sticking with us as we took a little bit of a break through the holidays. Guys, we took a break. October 22nd was the last time we dropped an episode.
My goodness.
There was sickness. There was new job stuff. There was holidays. So happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy Boxing Day for you Aussies.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
And apparently I made up a after New Year's Day holiday. So happy January 2nd.
There you go.
Yes,
There
yes.
you go. Yeah. Check it out over at the after party. Yeah, the after party at Poor Richards. As always, guys, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe and tell a friend. And if you leave us a good 5-star review on iTunes, we're going to read it live. We have one of those waiting. It's just chomping at the bit to be read.
It's a good one.
It's gonna get read. Also, make sure you check us out at patreon.com/inofficepod. It's $3. Gets you access to the after party at Poor Richards. And tonight, we just did a little bit of a life update and talked about New Year's resolutions and all that kind of random stuff. And it was great. So check that out. And as always, I want to say thank you to our $20 patron, assistant to the regional manager, Mr. Brian Cavazos.
Nice.
He's nice. He is the man. All right, let's get to that good 5-star. This was submitted by somebody named Smiley Sarah Joe.
Okay.
Back on October 30th.
Wow. Thanks, Sarah.
Nice.
So we're getting to
awesome.
it. The title was unique, hilarious. These are some true fans. Here's the bod. It says, I love The Office, and I've been watching it for 13 years. I am fortunate enough to have a handful of coworkers who also love and can quote The Office, so I'm in good company at work. But one of my favorite parts of my week is listening to Andi, Adam, and Rob discuss and analyze each episode and laughing out loud with them or sometimes at them. That's okay.
Yeah, thanks. We do that too.
Probably Andi. Probably laughing at them.
Yeah, probably laughing with Andi at them.
Oh, nice. Good save. They know their stuff and have great ideas and insights about the characters and situations on the show. They do an awesome job explaining each episode. So this is a great podcast
that's so sweet.
for new fans of The Office or for those of us who've watched it a dozen times. Keep up the great work.
Hey, that's
Yowza.
super cool, Sarah.
That was
Thank you.
really good. No wonder she's smiling. Smiling, Sarah Joe. So
She's smiling right now.
Smiling with us.
So thanks for that. Leave us that 5-star. We'll read it, baby. All right, guys. I do have to say, it is so good to be back. We're back in this like new studio space.
I know.
It is great.
It's sweet.
It's very spacious.
It's not quite done, but we got some stuff to put on the walls, do a little bit of painting, but it's a little more spacious, a little more comfy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good stuff. And we did talk about when we hit 5,000 downloads, we're going to do that good 5,000 download live stream to celebrate. Then life happened and holidays happened and we took a little bit of a break. So we're still on track. We want to do that. We want to make that happen.
And we're like over 5,000 now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're actually
We need cake.
We're actually pushing 6,000.
Yay!
So yeah,
We get 7-Up too.
That's right. Oh wow! It's like an 8-year-old's birthday party. So
Yes.
cake and 7-Up. But yeah, that's coming
Can't
soon.
wait.
So stay tuned to social media and all that stuff. We'll give you all the highlights and the details about how we're going to do that and what the platform will be and all that good stuff.
It should be Instagram.
You want to live
There's
stream
my vote.
the episode on Instagram?
I mean, why not?
It's doable. I guess
don't-
it's possible.
That's all I know.
Multiple platforms.
I only know Instagram.
We can figure it
Yeah.
out.
Instagram's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's what all the cool kids are using.
I got a vote.
What if we just did the entire live stream on TikTok? Is that possible?
I think yes. For all of
30-second intervals.
for all of our 13-year-old subscribers.
There you go. All right. So let's jump into this episode tonight, guys. So tonight, Mike is ready to be productive. Jim wants you to love him. Ryan is ready to make a sale, and Stanley is ready for pretzel day.
Aren't we all?
Yes,
Really, we are. This is Initiation, Season 3, Episode 5 of The Office. All right, so as the episode opens, Dwight is sitting at his desk. Ryan is at his new place where Jim used to be.
Yeah.
Okay, and Dwight is deciding that he's going to try to stump Ryan with all of these brain teasers. And Ryan just has him pegged.
Yeah.
He's got it figured out. I mean,
great.
even to the point where all that Dwight has to say is a hunter, and he's like, it's a polar bear. We're in the North Pole. Did you guys have, like, growing up, did you have some of these kind of brain teasers that people would try to hit you with?
I was like trying to think when I was watching this, like, man, what was like a common brain teaser? But all I could think of was like the stupid, like, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
But isn't that like just a rhyme?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like,
it's
this
not
isn't really a brain teaser.
That's so funny. But it made me think, who does he hang out with? I want to be his friend.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Because
I'm
he
sure
knows
has-
brain teasers?
Yeah.
Is that a specific, like...
Well, you know, he got it from somewhere. He has a friend that continues to say them
What a nerd.
to him for him to know the answer.
That's just
I'm
life.
sorry. That's awesome.
If Andy's sitting over at, like, the next desk and she hears this at lunch, she's like, I heard you were so good at those brain teasers. We should be friends.
Can I do get a copy someday?
Oh, my gosh. Okay, here's the one.
Brain teaser?
This was the classic one growing up, okay? An airplane crashes on the border.
What kind of classic? How old are you? Like legit classic?
Yeah, like this is
like
one.
way back when.
You're
Okay,
interrupting
give
my
us this.
brain teaser.
Okay, go. Airplane.
An airplane crashes
Lost.
on the border. Dharma Initiative. An airplane crashes on the border of the United States.
Of America?
Halfway on the United States. Halfway in Canada.
Oh, geez.
Where do they bury the survivors? Halfway on the border of U.S., halfway border of Canada.
Does this have a real answer?
Yes.
No.
Wait, hold on a second. There's no survivors.
Well, either there's no survivors or you don't bury the survivors.
Yeah,
That's
wait
the
a
plan.
sec.
There you go.
Why?
So you got
What
it.
do
You got
you
it.
do?
Now I feel dumb.
Oh.
That took
if
a
they-
long
well,
time for
Andy-
me to
Stop.
think of.
Andy,
you
if
edit
they
that out?
no, if
I said, why? What do you do with them?
let's hang on. Let's just break this
Just round
down.
them up.
Let's just
They
break this down.
live their life.
If they survive, they get to go home, so to their family. So it's pretty cool how that works
Not
out.
in Andy's world. What are we doing with them?
What do you do? Stick them in a box somewhere?
Oh my gosh. So yeah. Anyways, Ryan is just like he's got it nailed. It's Dwight is not going to get him in a corner.
Yeah.
Rob, are you the Ryan?
No, not at all.
You kind of just, you are.
I'm sure that
No,
third
sorry.
grade Rob, when I
You
heard
lost
that,
your Ryan.
third grade Rob, when I heard that, I was like, oh well, geez, let's see. I mean, well, all the survivors on the Canada side would obviously be buried in Canada.
Yeah. They become Canadians now.
Exactly. They get citizenship
All
automatically.
the
Montreal.
time. Oh, that was my Canadian accent. A ball.
Oh, gosh.
Isn't it a boot?
A boot.
A butt. It's a butt.
A boot?
To all of our Canadian listeners, I
Oh, I'm
apologize.
sorry. I'm sure that's offensive.
Yeah, it was. So as we come back from the credits, Michael and Jan are in his office and they're having a meeting. And Jan is trying to account for Michael's hours, but I don't think he's getting it initially. She's like, what did you do with your day? And, how was your day? And he's like, oh, how was your day? And she's like,
No, his quick response.
I'm not going to lie. Like, of this episode, I laughed the hardest right here. Because he's so offended that when she says, I don't care.
care, Michael.
And he pauses for such a long time and he goes, why would you set me up that way? It's so good. I laughed really hard.
Like,
right
I don't care about your day, Jan. I just asked because you asked me. But it becomes pretty clear that Jan is kind of concerned. Michael, how are you spending your days? How are you spending your hours? So Michael finally breaks it down. He's like, I worked. I went home to my condo. Carol came over. We had sex. Not exactly what she was hoping to hear, I don't think. But then we have a clip here because this situation sort of... Michael realizes what's going on, and he decides to give us, I think, some sage wisdom from his experience. So let's check this out.
Never, ever, ever sleep with your boss. I'm so lucky that Jan and I only got to second base.
It's true. Never sleep with your boss. Second base is fine.
Yeah.
Is basically what I'm hearing.
You can get past second base.
I'm not really for that advice, but I mean, what can I say? I'm a floozy.
There's no context to that whatsoever. Anyways, so Jan is then leaving Michael's office, and she's leaving for the day. But she stops by Pam's desk, and she's asking Pam, the receptionist, to keep an hour-by-hour log of Michael's day so that it can be analyzed by corporate.
Imagine that being your job, having to analyze your boss
Oh my
hour by hour.
Well, and one of the things that we'll see here is that Pam, I mean, she kind of reveals her heart here because she is going to go out of her way not only to try and help Michael, but she's going to cover for him in some spots.
So I was an executive assistant for years. I would have just told my boss, is that illegal? I would have just said, hey, this is my role. I don't always know what you do. What should I say? That's what I would do. And they can say, well, at this hour, this is what I do. Why, we can just talk about it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, true. Yeah, that's true. Honestly.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
The good news about Michael Scott.
You could. Or you could make it up.
Or you could watch him
That
through the
would be
blinds.
That's right.
Yeah. That'd be super fun to make it up, though.
Or you can
Or
smile.
you can have, like, a fake one and a real one. And then at the end of the day, show them what you
my
did.
gosh.
You're like, I was supposed to write this down. I just tracked your day and I want you to see it before I turned it in. And it could be like sneezed, poked your butt, spent 2 hours in the
Okay, I don't think
bathroom.
you want that kind of detail.
If you hated your boss, this is how you get your boss fired.
Exactly. There you go. See? That's beautiful.
He used the corporate credit card.
That's right. To buy a magical kit. Anyways, so
It was for clients.
there you go. See, he's going to impress him. So as Pam realizes this situation that she's going to take on, we get a little talking head where she basically says, Jan usually treats Mike like he's 10, but now she's treating him like he's 5. Have you ever worked in a environment where you had to track hour by hour how you spent your day?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yourself?
Yeah, myself. At the Dollar General.
Wait, are you serious?
What?
This is real. Oh, maybe it wasn't hour by hour, but I had like 4-hour shifts since I had to like write like what I did. At
What
the
you
end of-
accomplished?
Yeah, like I came in at 11 and like unpacked these soda boxes, and then I rearranged the makeup, and like it was awful.
Reviewed it?
I don't even think anybody reviewed it. My boss was like a micromanager, and I think that they just like wanted us to do it.
Like in his brain, he thought if they have to write it down, they're gonna fill their
It was a
time.
There you go.
female Andy. Not all managers are male. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. No, for real. It was a dude.
Yeah, so his name was Rick. No, yeah, it was so dumb though. I hated that job. That's probably second worst job I ever had.
Dude, I worked at a place where daily.
Yes.
They
I remember
and
that.
it sucks because they called them dailies. You had to get a paper that had hour by hour breakdown, and you had to break it down hour by hour. This is what I did,
That is like I cannot.
and then you had to
wrap my
drop
head
it.
around that.
You had to drop it in the CEO's mailbox every single day. It was hardcore.
The CEO was reviewing your hour by hour.
Yes, he would not only review it. He would not only review it, but he would take it home and have his wife help him.
Oh my gosh,
It was weird, dude.
that's like. I
It's-
don't get. How many hours do you think that he spent in his life reviewing other people's work hours?
I have no idea. I think it probably was along the same lines of like it's more about like if you have to write it down,
Yeah.
you're going to be more accountable type thing. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, like it was. I did not last.
That's
long.
pretty wild.
I did not last long there.
Yeah.
When your hours consisted of hanging out with Chad, going for walks.
Who knows? Wait, hang on. Wait, who knows a Chad?
I don't know.
I know a Chad. I went to high school with the Chad.
No, but I mean, like, do you know what?
Hang
Hang on. We all went to high school with a Chad, but who knows a Chad right now? Do you know a Chad right now?
That's the question we're after.
What
No.
happened to all the Chads of the world? Chad, where are you?
Are you currently friends with a Chad?
No.
Thank
I'm
you.
not-
What about you?
Okay, I'm not, but that's concerning now that we're talking about it. If your name is Chad, please just comment on our Twitter or Instagram. I'm alive.
Now
Like,
I'm
what happened to all
scared
the
because
Chads?
Andy said, "Where did they go?"
I know. If
what are you
we knew
planning,
them in high
Chads?
school and there's no longer any Chads, what?
Did you ever
happened to the
see? Did you ever see the
Chads?
movie The Prestige?
Oh yeah.
Wait,
That
is it
was the
pronounced
Prestige.
like
All the
that?
Chads went away.
Where did he send them?
Oh my gosh.
I loved it how you said prestige. It was so fancy.
Prestige?
Prestige.
Prestige. What did you say?
Prestige.
Excuse me, madam. Do you have an issue with the way I say prestige?
Excuse me.
An issue. Anyways, it was a super long rabbit trail, and it was all about Chads. Anyways, so as we cut back into the bullpen, Dwight is super. I mean, he's extremely excited about whatever's coming. He's asking Ryan, "Are you excited?" "Yeah." "Are you very excited?" "Yeah." "Are you extremely excited?" And he's like, "Okay, very excited." "No, that's cool."
This is me when my wife says we can have Popeyes for dinner, and
Oh,
I'm driving
baby.
on the way, and I'm like, "Are you excited?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "But how excited?" Because I'm very excited.
Oh my gosh. So what we find out is Ryan is saying, "Hey, I've been here for a year, as the temp, but I need to decide if I'm going to commit. And today, Dwight is going to take him on his first sales call." And he is excited. Dwight then kind of talks about, hey, he's excited to take Ryan on this sales call. He's excited to sort of team up with him and find out, is he going to be like the old wiseacre like Jim was, who was lazy and didn't care? Or is he going to join the Dwight Army of Champions?
Yes.
Who else besides Dwight is in the Army of Champions?
Mose.
Oh, that's probably true. That's maybe Michael.
But Mose is
Michael's
Mose
the
wasn't
leader.
even like volunteering. He was drafted into the Dwight Army of Champions.
I feel like it's the same thing with Michael. I bet Dwight was like, "Michael, do you want to be in the Dwight Army of Champions?" And he's like, "Whatever, Dwight."
Yeah,
And he's
sure,
like,
that's fine.
"Great. Yes,
2
he's in.
recruits.
He's in." Oh my gosh. So Dwight and Ryan now are in the vehicle. They are driving. They're out in the middle of nowhere. And Ryan is asking the obvious question, "Where's the sales office?"
Yeah.
Dwight's response, "When you are ready, the sales office will reveal itself to you." Just a little scandalous. And the journey begins now. And Dwight is so just like, you can tell Dwight is born to be a mentor.
Yeah.
He loves this. Ryan, on the other hand, terrified.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of nowhere with friggin' Dwight. Like,
We would all be.
something
How long
bad.
do you think it took Dwight to make this plan?
Oh, I guarantee you Dwight had this
Maybe
weeks
he
in
dreamed it up even before he
Oh,
was mentoring
yes.
somebody. He's like, when I mentor,
He's had this as a
is what I'm
scenario.
doing.
He probably had it laid out as a scenario kind of roughly in his
Yeah.
mind. But when he realized it was going to be Ryan, I guarantee you the night before, him and Mose are sitting down, a nice cup of apple cider by candlelight.
Yep.
And he's just like, "Okay, Mose, and then you're going to jump out and he will wrestle you."
Yeah.
Oh, it's...
Because later in the episode, I mean, there's a lot of detail that goes
Oh,
into
sure.
to this training program.
And here's the deal. It's ridiculous, but there is some helpful stuff in there that Dwight is saying. And you can tell he put a lot of effort into it. Dang it, Dwight. So back in Stamford, we head over there, and Karen Filippelli,
Abodanza.
that's right, her chair is starting to squeak. And we're finding out that maybe it was Jim's chair. No, Jim had the chair that wasn't squeaky. She stole it, and then he stole it back. They're just doing that nice flirt that they do all the time. And Jim decides,
They or Jim? Jim is the big office flirt.
yeah, but
He is the office flirt.
she's in on this. I mean, she's biting.
Yeah.
I mean, most girls would be. You have a Jim in the office
She's
flirting
picking
with
up.
you.
She's picking up what he's laying down. And Jim says, "Well, then I guess I just if you're going to steal the chair when I get up, I guess I can't get up." And then he just rolls around like Wall-E style in his chair without getting up.
What's funny too is people are passing him by the copier.
He's
And
like, "No problem."
this is normal. He's just like, "Hey, what's up?"
"Hey, how's it going?" "Yep, just making copies. It's cool." So we go back to Scranton, and Michael is on the phone, and Michael is calling this guy. And he's calling him Cosby, hey, Jello Pudding Pops. Which is really interesting because he's doing a Fat Albert impression instead of a Cosby impression. But anyways,
It's so good.
we're kind of getting this sense that Michael is talking to somebody. Maybe he's working on a deal, but it sounds like it's ridiculous. And Pam, logging his hours, says, "Hey, at 10 a.m., he did a Cosby impression." That's all she puts down.
Out of all of the things she could log, I'm sure he did more than that. Even if it was just sit and stare at the computer, he could assume checking email. But she chose Cosby
Last night, recapping this episode with my wife out loud during this part, she goes, "Oh, doesn't hold up." And I was like, "That's like too soon."
What the?
The Cosby impression.
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
bit. The whole bit.
Yeah.
Did not age well.
A little rough. And then we have a clip here. We cut back over to the farm, and Ryan's training is officially beginning. So let's check out this clip.
Do you know where we are, Tim?
I know where we're not.
I hold in my hand a beet seed. Take it. When
It's so good.
And then he walks away.
I love it.
The Kung Fu Master. It didn't work for him this time. Dang.
I'm so curious, too, what he had prepared for when he closed his fist again. Like, expecting Ryan not to get the seed again.
Like, how long were they going to be standing there?
Because he was going to say, when you're able to get the seed.
Yeah.
Well, then what?
You will be ready to make a sale?
Who knows?
He was just so...
Well, apparently he was more than ready.
He was upset, yeah. So we go back to Scranton, and Andy Bernard, the Nard dog, decides to give the performance of his life. He stands up and says, "Hey,
Yes.
Tuna, can you come talk to me?" And he's like, "Sure." And he's like, "No, can you stand up and come talk to me over here?" He's trying to get Jim to stand up, and it's just the worst. Karen is completely disappointed. That's what you came up with?
Yeah, I think Karen goes, "Really?"
Okay, what would you guys have come up with? You're Andy. You got to make this guy stand. What would you say?
I think I would have looked over my shoulder because Tuna sits behind him. I think I would have looked over my shoulder and been like, "Oh my gosh, Tuna, you got to see this. Get over here." Like to my computer.
Oh,
that's a
that's
good one.
good.
Like, come here. You got to see this. You got to see this.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And
that's
try to
good.
get him to get up and come look at my computer
And
screen.
it's Papa John memes on
That's right. Exactly.
Exactly.
But
I think I would leave the room and come back and just say, "Oh, hey, you're wanted at front desk. Someone's here for you."
Oh,
okay,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's not bad either.
You guys are so much better than mine. In my head, I'm just thinking of like, how can I get Jim to freak out and stand up? Like, oh my gosh, you need yeah. Just get the whole office to like freak out and run, like almost like the fire episode. Like, how do I get everyone up?
Yeah, Jim, you pooped your pants. No, you don't realize it, but you did.
Your mother just called me and she's dead.
Okay, that's like a straight up Michael Scott moment right there.
Listen,
for sure.
too far. There's the line.
That was a little.
Dang. Obviously, it does not work. Yeah. Jim does not get up, and the chair is still secure. So back in Scranton, we get the announcement that today is Pretzel Day.
Yeah. When is our pretzel day? That's all I got to say. I'm sure Costco has pretzels.
Do they?
I don't know. They
Who
have like
has
the ones in
pretzels?
the freezer.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Super pretzel.
When's
Super,
our
super
pretzel
big
day?
soft pretzel.
I know my pretzels.
Hey, I will wait in line for
You know what we need to
pretzel
do?
day.
We need to see if we can figure out what day was Pretzel Day. What
Oh,
day
yeah.
of the year?
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean, there's a little something called the interwebs.
yeah, maybe somebody on the interwebs knows in canon what day is Pretzel Day, but we could have a Pretzel Day for sure.
Oh, please. That would
Stanley.
make my life.
Stanley hears that it's Pretzel Day, and he power walks like he is trying to win the gold
get
medal.
It. Stanley, I am with you.
Those hips are working, and
Hips
he is
don't lie.
moving, and he is the first one out the door.
Ooh, I see it. Oh,
Yes.
goodness.
It's a unique one. So Google says Pretzel Day is Sunday, April 26th, 2020.
That is near
baby.
my birthday.
Put it on the calendar.
So
ladies
That's
and gentlemen.
my
Pretzels.
birthday gift.
Okay, let's
Pretzel
put this.
Day.
Let's put this in the calendar.
All right, he pointed
Okay?
to me. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm the
April-
woman, so apparently.
What day of the week is that?
it's a Sunday,
It's a Sunday. Okay, so and what day? What day was it? April.
April 26th.
April 26th. So we'll record on April 27th. That's a Monday.
Okay.
Yes.
April 27th, Pretzel Day, baby.
Pretzel
I
Day.
got it in
get ready.
the calendar.
With the works.
You heard it here first with the works. And then
Oh,
Michael.
where are the works. I guess we'll hear. We'll
Yes,
know.
we're going to find out about the works in just a minute. So Michael actually gets up. He's leaving his office as well. He's in the elevator, and he's talking about needing his pretzel, that he's supposed to be productive, but how can he be productive when he has this thing in his mind that he can't get out, which is a soft pretzel? I got to get my pretzel, then I'll be productive.
I've had
Sure.
this thought last week. I
For
mean-
real, what was it about? Like about a pretzel?
No, I mean, it's just like, I'm always like, man, I'd be so much more productive after I go to Chick-fil-A. You know, like, after I do this, I'm really going to get after it. You know,
That's right.
Like,
If I can just get this thing, then I swear I'll work.
yeah.
He gets down into the lobby, and the pretzel line is so long.
It is unfortunate that she had to log on pretzel day.
Yeah.
I mean, pretzel day is not every day. It is a little different.
It's a rough day to have to log for Michael, but for her, it's not that big of a deal. She's saying pretzel day is a big deal for some people,
Pam, who are you?
but it's not for her. She doesn't care. She's not
pretzel
worried about
day is
it.
a big day for everybody. Have you seen that
It
office?
should be.
Yes. Amen.
Well, here's the deal. Michael gets down into the lobby. The line is super long, and you're going, what the heck is the deal? The dude is one. He has a toaster oven, and he's one at a time in it.
What are you
pretzels.
doing?
Like, he couldn't at least get a second toaster
That
oven?
is like the sample table at Costco.
It is blowing my
This
mind.
is somebody getting paid by the hour for sure.
For
They are
real.
milking it.
Well, they say that he's bringing it in, and it's like a free thing that they do.
Yeah.
It must be sponsored by the business park
Oh,
or
sure.
something like
Well,
that.
the company pays, I'm
It
sure.
is because they come on the intercom. They're like, "Thank you for being a part of Scranton Business Park, whatever."
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
we brought in pretzels. Like,
But whoever this dude is,
Yeah.
like, get your stuff together, bro. You need to scale this thing.
it's pretty bad.
Oh,
Let's
my
try.
gosh.
Let's see if we can do it.
No,
Pretzel cart.
no, no.
I'm sorry. I'm for it.
Laser focus. She's,
Okay, sorry.
She's just shotgun blasting the ideas. On the last episode, we were talking about starting a chip company remember the Hers chips?
That is a
Oh.
great idea.
They're
Why
not-
didn't we
What's
move
your store
forward?
number?
The reason why we didn't move forward with that is I don't make January goals.
There you go. They're
But
not.
if I made
Yeah.
New Year's goals, maybe I'd have a pretzel cart or a chip.
There's always 2021.
That's right.
We'll try again next year.
2021, the year of the pretzel, for sure. So we go back to the farm, and Dwight is actually throwing down some sales wisdom. Okay, he's saying he's got Ryan on the ground, obviously planting a seed,
Yeah.
and he's planting a beet seed, and Dwight is saying, as you plant this seed in the ground, so I will plant my seed in you.
No,
He goes,
no.
I don't think you know what you're saying.
Exactly. It smells pretty bad, huh? Yeah, it does. It's bull crap. Clients can smell it a mile away. He's trying.
Yeah.
Like, these are tangible lessons. that he's
Okay,
trying to give him.
so you are a sales guru.
That is true.
Caleb.
I'm going to start using this line on my sales team.
Is it
where-
true? Is it
when-
right?
That people can smell bullcrap for sure.
Well, I also think as you bring in a new salesperson, you should be like, hey,
The first thing I'm going to say.
I'm going to plant my seed in you.
Yeah.
Welcome to our company. I'm going to plant my seed in.
There you go.
It's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Best manager
There
ever.
is no HR
Yeah.
problem there
Yeah.
at all.
I will be unemployed quickly.
And so, bullcrap, they smell it a mile away. And then Dwight forgot something in his car. And then he just runs away and jumps in the car and drives off.
Yeah.
And Ryan is not even surprised in the least. He's like, of course.
Yep.
I'm left in the middle of a beat.
He doesn't
field.
even like try to chase him.
No,
He's just
no.
like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just
This
the
is my
next
life
part of the
now.
lesson. So we have a clip here because we go back to Scranton. And Stanley, we saw him power walk like his life depended on it out of the office.
Gotta
yeah.
go.
This is a guy who loves Pretzel Day. And he explains to us why Pretzel Day is so important. So let's check out this clip.
I wake up every morning in a bed that's too small, drive my daughter to a school that's too expensive,
He's
and
so
then I
happy.
go to work to a job for which I get paid too little. But on Pretzel Day, well, I like Pretzel Day.
Oh, baby. Is that one of the first times that we've seen Stanley that happy?
I think, like, you don't see him smile
Have
in
I
any of
seen
the
him
seasons
smile
up till
before?
this point.
For sure. And it's a cute one. He's got that little side smirk.
Is this the last thread that is holding Stanley together?
Pretzel Day.
I think so. I wish I was as passionate in life about anything,
Anything
as he is about
Sure.
Pretzel Day.
Oh, for sure.
I might join the bandwagon. I might be as passionate about Pretzel Day now. I mean, I haven't had one yet, but I believe it's a good one.
You
I
haven't
believe
had a
that's
Pretzel
a good
Day pretzel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll know on April 27th.
All right.
Oh, baby, that's
We
right.
will know.
That is right. So Michael also is in line, and Kelly is in line right behind him, and he is just getting an earful about Narnia and cupcakes. This has to be
I mean,
she's
the two greatest conversations.
sure,
right?
I guess.
Like, cupcakes
She's
on
talking
it,
about the Chronicles of Narnia rap, right, by Lonely Island. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I remember seeing it forever ago, but like I don't.
Andy Samberg, Chris Parnell.
Yes.
The Chronic, What Calls of Narnia, right?
It's not ringing a bell.
What?
I think I don't know if it's officially a Lonely Island song.
Okay,
you
that's
got
what
Andy
I'm thinking of.
You got Andy Samberg, Lonely Island, Like a Boss and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
D in a box. All that good stuff.
What's that stand for?
Yeah, your
Dandy.
your doubt.
Donuts.
You put it in a
Donuts.
box and then you put it away. Anyways, but yeah, I think she must be talking about that. But here's the interesting thing: as she's wrapping up this rant, she's like, "It's about cupcakes. I mean, who invented cupcakes? She says, I could just kill them." That is the final line that she says.
Like out of love? How
I have
did I
no
miss
idea.
that? Like I love them so much, you're dead.
She says, and it's about cupcakes. Oh my gosh, who invented cupcakes? I could just kill them.
That is so weird.
It's a little weird.
That is creepy. I don't know how I missed that.
However, I did go Google who invented cupcakes.
Oh, I'm curious.
And so it's labeled as Cupcake Fun Facts.
Wait, there's a site dedicated to cupcake fun facts?
The site was, I think it was like mobile recipes or something like that. But like there is a heading that said Cupcake Fun Facts.
Oh my God.
And this is what it says. Cupcakes have been around since the late 1700s.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
People didn't even have teeth then.
Exactly.
know.
Well, that's probably why they're eating cake.
Oh, there you go.
The first mention of the cupcake can be traced as far back as 1796, when a recipe notation of, and in quotes, a cake to be baked in small cups was written in a book, I guess, called American Cookery by Amelia Sims. You heard it here first, folks.
Thank you,
That's a
Amelia
smart
Sims.
woman.
That's right.
Thank you.
Sweet cuppin' cakes.
I mean, Kevin doesn't get you, but we do.
That's right. That's true. That's true. Good call. Ooh, good call back. I love that. So while he's in line, though, Phyllis comes to see Bob Vance. Yes. And
I keep forgetting that Bob Vance is in the office.
yeah, he works in the same office part.
Yeah, the same
Yeah.
building.
Now-
that is so funny to me.
Phyllis comes to just give a hug and a kiss to Bob
Wait,
Vance.
did we ever hear how they met?
Oh, I think we did.
Did they
Phyllis-
have this like romantic rendezvous in an elevator someday or something?
I don't know.
Or like she walked by and he like double glanced and then
I've had a little bit of bird dog, so I'm having trouble remembering. But somebody out in the Twitterverse,
memory
okay,
does
we'll
not-
Google it. We'll Google
somebody
it.
out in the Twitterverse is going to be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. How did you miss this?
I know.
Oh,
It was
no.
it was only what, probably like 10 episodes ago.
It's pretty recent.
Dang it.
Okay,
Anyways,
we got to look this up.
so Phyllis is coming to give a hug and a kiss to Bob Vance.
Smooch
Do you
ring.
think she was trying to crowd? Like, was she trying to work her way in, or was she
Wouldn't
just?
you?
I 100% think that she would.
But Ken,
I agree.
And here's why. I have a personal vendetta against these people.
oh no,
against
I
Phyllis
was
and Bob
gonna
Vance?
justify it. My goodness.
People that do this.
Okay.
Long story short, I went to a very, very small school, and we had very weird like cafeteria hours in college. Like literally, you could eat from like 5 to 6 p.m. The food was awful, but the thing that made everybody go to the caf were these little chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, baby.
That this old lady would make. And they would literally ring a bell like we're a bunch of cattle, like ding 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 ding.
Fresh
And
cookies.
everybody
But
would.
you guys responded, so you were a bunch of
This
cattle.
was like Pavlov's dog. Exactly. We just started salivating. But
Trained.
I watched this happen time and time again in college, where people would like line up like 30 people deep in this line, right, to get this chocolate chip cookie, and people would be like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in forever. How was English class?" You know, like coming up, and we would be like, "Boo! I will rip your face off if you get in front of these cookies." Like it was rough.
How do you face them in class though? So like, let's say you're telling someone, "Boo,
Oh,
get online,
no.
get online," and then you see them tomorrow in class, and you're like, "Hey, what's up?"
This is like crowd strike. This isn't like
It's a
like
mob.
This
It's mob
isn't
mentality.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but
this
what
isn't like
if it
one
was
person
your
being like, "You guys
significant other?"
suck."
I think there's different rules for significant others. It's like, oh, that's your boyfriend. Oh, that's your wife. Like,
Whoa.
Yeah,
I don't know
get
about
in
that.
line,
I
get
don't
over
know.
here.
I don't
I
know.
can
See,
say with
even
full-
if Phyllis tried to pull that card, I'd be like, "Heck no, Phyllis."
Show me your ring.
Okay, here's the deal. I think it's a personality thing, because I can say with full confidence, if Andy was in a line and I was coming up and I was like, "Hey, what?" Like I got there late, she was the kind of person who would be like, "Just get in."
Oh,
It's
come
like,
on,
just
come
get
on.
in line.
Yeah.
And even if somebody back there was like, "No way, you suck, boo," she'd be like, "Shut your mouth." Get
Oh,
over here."
I'd be like, no way, he's
No.
my husband.
Yeah,
Now flip that. If I'm in line and she shows up and she's trying to crowd in,
Oh,
and,
he would be
and people
so
are
mad.
like, "Boo,
That's true.
boo," I would be like, I'm so sorry.
He'd be like,
have to
woman,
go to the
get
back
out of
of the
here. Get out of here,
You
woman.
know what? I'll come with
He
you.
would be. That's
Exactly.
That's
he
what I would do,
really
too.
would.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I'd be
And I
like-
would just look at this person and be like, "No, fool, nah, I'm here.
I would just
What are
like,
you
know
gonna do
what?
about it?"
I'll go. It's no problem. I'll go to the back of the line with you.
I'll just come with you. It's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
I think
gosh.
there's significant other like allowances.
Okay.
So if it's like a friend, it's like nah, fool, go
I
back
guarantee
in line.
you there are-
But if it's like you're together, oh, you are united in one.
Yeah.
Yes, you
One
may
flesh.
join them.
That's
I get it.
biblical.
Let's think
There you
about
go.
this though too. How many other times in the Office lore do we see Phyllis go out of her way to greet Bob Vance with a hug and kiss? Like,
Okay.
I don't ever remember a time
Touche.
other than Pretzel Day.
Touche, good sir.
Pretzel Day brings out the best in everyone, Caleb. Their relationship just elevated.
worst.
Unexplainable joy
There you go.
is going throughout the Office.
So Phyllis is, maybe she's trying to crowd, maybe she's just saying hi. Either way, Michael and Stanley are having none of it. Michael calls it out, and this is an interesting situation because that's pretty gutsy for Michael to call it out to Bob Vance, because Bob turns around and is like, "Hey, Scott, take it easy." And Bob Vance is the kind of guy that maybe you don't mess with.
No, you don't mess
I would
with
be
Bob
scared
Vance
now
Vance
if Bob
refrigeration.
Vance
Sure.
said that to me.
Sure.
But of course, Stanley enters in as well, and it's like, no, it's Pretzel Day.
Oh, that's true.
Get
You
in the
do
back.
not mess
and
with
I
Stanley.
think that gives a little bit of confidence to Michael, because I feel like if Michael's there by himself and
Sure.
and Bob Vance is like, "Hey, Scott, take it easy," he's probably like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm
Oh
sorry."
yeah, my bad. Actually,
Not when
have
he's
my
got
pretzel
Stanley in
bite.
his
No
pretzel
way,
corner.
dude. Stanley and him, they boo Phyllis and get her to the back, and then
I
they
love
high
that they
five.
boo.
They high
I
five. I
do
love
think that Stanley's at the top of the food chain here.
that. Oh, for sure.
Like, honestly, I would be scared of Bob Vance. Yes, if he were to give me the eye, I'd be like, you win. But then Stanley, oh man. Yeah.
you don't
he's
get
done.
between a man and his pretzel.
Sure.
Yep, that's right.
So we cut back to Ryan, who is just wandering the Pennsylvania countryside. Like, I don't know that he knew that he was supposed to find a barn. He just wanders, finds a barn, and decides to knock on the door for some reason. But Dwight pops out, and very good. You've walked the lonely road of loneliness.
Yes, the lonely road of loneliness. My favorite Green Day song.
Exactly.
How does loneliness
That's exactly what I thought of, actually. That's so
how
good.
does loneliness fit in the training of sales? What do you think, Caleb?
Oh my gosh.
Why does loneliness make
Why
you
do you
a
need
better
to walk
salesman?
the lonely road of loneliness?
Because I don't know, you're by yourself out there. It's the Wild West.
All right,
it's
all right.
you.
It's the lone
You
road.
can only rely on yourself.
That's right. Can't rely on anybody else.
That's right.
Got to get that contract signed.
There you go. There it is.
That's what we're after.
See,
I'm the only
Dwight,
one,
the
and I walk alone.
professional.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Nobody else is gonna help you.
So Dwight says, "Hey, second test has been passed, and they're going to get ready for the final test." As we go back to Stanford, Karen is still in the squeaking chair, and she's squeaking it to kind of annoy Jim.
Yep.
But Jim, cool guy Jim, just pulls the wild card and starts singing "Love Fool" by the Cardigans. Love me, love
Honestly,
me,
that'll get
say
anybody
that
anytime.
you love
Yeah.
me, fool me, go on and fool me. And I love that the Nard dog is loving this.
Yes.
Like, she is losing her mind. She's like, this is not a proportionate response. This is not okay. This is too far. This is not okay. And then it pulls out, and we see Andy Bernard, who's like singing along.
He's
and,
like,
He's
Lipping it.
lip syncing in front of Jim.
He might even be harmonizing. I'm not sure, but the concentration on his face might be a harmonization.
oh, yeah. And he's doing the scales with his
Yeah,
hand
for
and everything.
sure.
That's so dang good. Oh, it was a great move by Jim. So we cut back over to Scranton, and Michael is still waiting in line. And you can tell he's kind of getting stressed out because Pam comes out of the elevator. She says, "Michael," and his initial response immediately is, "No cutting."
No kidding.
But Pam,
We can relate. We get it, Michael.
for sure. Pam wants him to be productive in line. So she's going out on a limb here. She really could just document Michael's day, not care about the consequence, but she's really trying to help him succeed.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Hey, maybe you can approve some check requests while you're in line and all that stuff." And he's like, "I'm so glad you're here. I need you to hold my place in line while I go pee." Resourceful.
so good.
It's good. It doesn't work out, and so Pam then logs. So 10 a.m. we had Cosby impression.
Yes.
From 10 to 12, it's kind of blank, but then at 12 we have stood in the pretzel line.
That's right.
So
Productive day.
It is going so well. And now we have a clip here. As we go back to the farm, Ryan has kind of had enough of this scenario, but Dwight actually starts to talk a little bit of sense. So let's check this out.
Time for your next test. You have planted the beet seed. You have walked the long, lonely walk of loneliness.
I was in a frat in college, so I know what you're doing. I get it.
Do you know what your problem is? You know why you haven't made any sales? Because you think you know everything. You have to trust that maybe there are other people that can teach you things.
Like, that's another
Are
nugget.
you ready to learn? Are you ready for the final test?
Yeah.
Come on!
It's another nugget of wisdom.
That's right. That's right.
Sprinkled
I
all
hope
over.
this is your new onboarding process.
I gotta find a barn.
I mean, here's the deal. As
We
crazy
have a
as
van. You can use that if you
yeah,
want.
you could wrestle somebody in the van. It's possible. As crazy,
We've done it. I'm just kidding. That was too far.
That's good. That's good stuff right there. Here's the deal. As crazy as you and Andy has gone into the silent laughter, she's losing her mind.
Andy is falling out of her chair.
Yes, she's doing the crazy laugh. If you're watching the video version, I mean, you could see she's losing her mind right now. It's
I
so good.
always forget about that.
So, as crazy as you think Dwight is, he continues to sort of bring out these nuggets. Like, your problem is you don't think you have anything to learn.
Yeah.
There's always somebody who
right.
knows a little more, who can teach you. Everybody can learn, no matter what stage you're in. And she's over there still losing it.
Andy is falling apart right now.
I'm good. I'm good.
Anyways, Dwight may not be as crazy as we think he is.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
There you go. Michael, then we cut back to Scranton. Michael finally gets to the front of the line at Pretzel Day. And he's asking, hey, do you have a sweet pretzel left? The guy's like, yeah, I got one. He's like, excellent. He's like, what do you want on it? Well, what do you got? And he goes on to list
My gosh.
so many toppings.
18. He said 18 topics.
An 18
I mean,
Yeah.
ridiculous toppings. Yeah. Like, if you think about all of these things on a pretzel, like, it's just a hot mess that you're going to rub on your face.
Yeah.
Like, how do you
no, but
enjoy
those
this?
were good options. White chocolate.
Well, yeah, at one point I think he
mean-
says cotton candy bits.
Yeah, this
which
is,
so
this is
ridiculous.
like a
I like that.
diabetes pretzel.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
this is, I don't even know.
Wilford Brimley is turning
What
over in
would
his
you have
grave.
done?
This
Nothing?
is like the pretzel a 4-year-old would make if you said, you get to cook dinner tonight.
Or
And they're like, sweet.
So he lists these 18 toppings.
wait, what would you get? What's your pretzel, guys?
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I
Oh,
wanna know.
wait, like for real, if I had to order
Yes.
one?
Yeah, let's break this down.
I would also do probably, this is after lunch.
You would do the
it's,
worst, wouldn't you?
Strategic. No, I wouldn't do the worst. I don't want to die at 36.
Oh my gosh.
I would do a sweet pretzel for sure. Little after lunch dessert.
Oh, yeah,
little,
boy.
little something to tease the taste buds.
Sweet tooth.
But I wouldn't overload it like crazy. I'd probably do like a sweet pretzel with the cinnamon sugar.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
and then
Excellent
maybe
choice.
both of the chocolate drizzles. So like a regular chocolate and then a
then, like,
white
the
chocolate
white.
drizzle.
Excellent
And then
choice.
I'm good. I'm
Excellent
good from
choice.
that. I don't need any more.
See, I tend to fall into, for me, it's about texture. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not so concerned about, like, all of the stuff. I want these textures that go
Like you
well
want a little
together.
bit of crunch, a little bit of sauce.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
All
kind of like
right.
when I go to get frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
You know, you got the, and I get it. You got the, like, the 8-year-old in line who's like, I'm going to put chocolate and gummy worms and a Snickers bar and
A spoonful of mayo.
exactly. Like, I'm going to put everything.
Ranch.
When I go, legitimately, this is what I do. I get a flavorful yogurt.
Yep.
Okay, I don't get vanilla. I get like a really flavorful
Do you do the
yogurt.
twist or just one yogurt?
Just one yogurt flavor. And then
Like mango.
my go-to, graham cracker crumbles.
Oh.
Okay, like
I don't know if I've done the graham crackers before.
Okay, like the graham cracker, like it's not. It's like the powder, like they've smashed them so much to the point, because you get the flavor and then you get the texture of it, and it's good.
That's a good one.
Okay, so I'm thinking the same thing with the pretzel. I like
Okay.
where you're going because I want the sweet pretzel. The cinnamon is going to give it a little bit of that crunch, and then you can get the chocolate, the white chocolate. I think that's great.
Yeah.
What I do like to do if I want to get a little treat, I'll be like, yeah, put the Reese's on there.
There it is.
I want the
was
big chunks of
wondering
Reese's,
when you were
but
gonna say
I'm
that.
going to pick the Reese's off. I'm going to eat them, and then I'm going to eat the pretzel.
That's a little appetize in
Exactly.
between,
There you go.
each
See?
bite. You know, like,
I'm more savory.
You're a savory lady.
I
That's
would
my
do.
She is a savory treat.
Yes.
okay.
Anytime
Yes, she
I'm
is.
gonna go. Oh, at any given point though, if I had to choose between savory and sweet, it's always savory. So I would go.
Salsa. It would be salsa.
I was just going to say.
Wait, are you kidding me?
No, I was
No
going
way.
to say cheese and jalapenos.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what
a
I
good
would
one.
want. Pretzels with cheese and jalapenos.
You want that queso.
Yep.
Okay.
That good Latin.
That's a
There
good
you go.
one.
And that's it.
Yeah.
On salt. I mean, it's got to be the sea salt pretzel. Not
Oh yeah,
the
that
plain
nice
one.
flaky salt.
Yeah,
That like
sea
Maldon
salt
salt.
pretzel with
baby.
queso cheese,
Yep.
jalapeno. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Mess me up with that salt.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I love it. Okay, so Michael gets to the front. He hears all 18 toppings. He says, "Is there a way to do them all?" And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, the works. I got you."
Like he's done this 5
Yes.
times already.
And Michael is just like, "This is the best day ever."
Because Michael is the 4-year-old that
Exactly.
wanted to make this pretzel
He's
anyways.
like, dreams come true.
Yep.
At the front of the pretzel line. It's so good. So we go back to the barn, and they are inside. The final test is going to begin. Dwight needs Ryan to sit in this like very old timey wheelchair, which is basically like a rocking chair with wheels. And this is
it's like a wheelchair from like the Civil War.
oh for sure.
It is
for
like
sure.
there have been multiples of dead bodies in these chairs.
Yes.
And why
Oh,
it's
yes.
a wheelchair, I don't know. But
That wheelchair is haunted.
if
for
you
sure.
like shrink those wheels a little bit, it's a cute chair. I'd
Yeah.
put it in my living room.
That's like a wheelchair you sit in and then like fall into another dimension of like
Yes.
ghosts.
Exactly.
Hi, Grandma.
So the,
my
oh my gosh. So the final test begins, and this is where we get to meet beloved character for the very first. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we get to meet Mr. Mose.
Yep.
The cousin of Dwight.
And he's wearing my outfit.
He is. He is wearing the outfit that Andy wore to the
Bar
pub,
crawl.
the office
I
trivia pub
remember.
crawl. It's beautiful.
I remember.
I was Mose.
Which we need to plan again for 2020, by the way.
Heck yes, dude.
That was super fun.
And I actually love this moment because you get a little taste of Dwight's heart. He says, "Mose is my cousin. He lives here. He is my cousin, and he is my best friend.
Yep.
Unless things go well with Ryan today,
Aw.
then maybe I won't hang out with Mose so
I
much."
hope. That's so sweet.
That's
Dang
good.
it. So as the final test begins, there's a trivia portion. So Dwight wants to know, what is the greatest danger to Dunder Mifflin? To which Ryan, I think, gives a great answer. It's outsourcing
Yep.
and something else. I don't remember.
I think, is it just outsourcing?
No, there was something else. There
No
was
shipping costs?
I don't remember what else. I
Maybe.
remember he says outsourcing.
something in outsourcing, basically. But the more important,
Outsourcing and downsizing, maybe?
maybe the more important thing to know here is that the actual answer was flash floods. That's what we need to be worried about.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I had to think about this for a sec because they're in Pennsylvania, right? Like,
Sure.
is Pennsylvania prone to flash floods? Like, I had to
I
think
mean,
about
it's
this. Like,
northern, so maybe it's pretty rainy.
but like, is it flat there? I thought it was kind of like hilly and I don't know.
Okay.
We don't have to dive into.
I was gonna. Okay,
Yeah,
so
no.
I am googling, is Pennsylvania prone to
Flash
floods? But the autocorrect, the very first thing was, is Pennsylvania a state? yeah, it is.
Nope, not
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh my gosh. So according to Google, it says central New York and northeast Pennsylvania are prone to heavy rain and flash flooding.
Wow.
That's random.
An average of about 34 flash floods per year.
Oh my gosh.
34. Our very good friends just moved to central New York.
Holy
Oh
crap.
my gosh.
There have been 1,025 reported flash flood events between 1986 and 2015. That's freaking hardcore.
This is another nugget of wisdom.
It's so
this
good.
This is like, no, this is actually flash floods is the answer.
Wait,
like Dwight knows what he's talking about.
what does flash floods do other than just flood the streets and such?
It's like
That's
when...
enough.
Yeah.
That is enough.
Okay.
if
Okay.
that's all it
Like-
does.
Yeah.
that's
I think
big deal.
yeah. Let's go with that.
It backs up the sewer.
Oh, ooh, ugh.
It's like when the ground doesn't have enough time to evaporate everything.
Absorb it.
Evaporate. It goes into the air.
Science.
Absorb. The ground doesn't have enough time to science the water back
you sound real
back
smart.
into
Real
the
smart.
Earth's water fountain.
There's not even enough time for science to work.
Christopher Walken.
You know, it's science.
Wow.
It's science.
So
We got this, y'all.
that's awesome. So the greatest danger of Dunder Mifflin, flash flooding. Second question. What was the real reason for Robert Mifflin's suicide?
Aw.
To which I think a great answer, depression.
Yeah.
However,
that
the
makes
real answer was he hated himself.
Okay.
Wrong. He hated
Tomato,
himself.
Tomato.
And then the best question, I think, the final one. What was the Dharma Initiative? Do you guys know the answer to this?
I do.
Okay, hang on. Do you know, Andy?
I know where it came from.
You do?
Wait, let me think. Yes, Lost.
Oh, very nice.
Are you kidding
Okay.
me? I watch shows and such. But
Does
let me
anybody remember the code?
Oh, dude, I don't. The numbers?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No.
I know it starts with a 4. That's all I remember.
I didn't even remember that.
I didn't expect you to know what the Dharma Initiative was.
kidding me?
That's
I
awesome.
watch TV.
Well, we haven't watched Lost in like a decade.
Yeah, this really like shows you where we're at in time.
Oh, that's
for
true.
sure.
That
For
is
sure.
so true.
Because I mean, think about like whenever you show your kids The Office when they grow up, right? They're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "What is the Dharma Initiative?"
It's like, was that some kind
Oh,
of weird
yeah, you're
government
right.
conspiracy?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So as we go back to Scranton, Kelly and Angela are in the break room, taking a little break here, and Kelly is like getting concerned about Ryan. She's like, "Man, they've been gone for a long time. You know, I'm kind of concerned." And Angela's like, "Don't worry, sales calls can take a while." And she's like, "No, what if I'm really concerned. What if something happens? Dwight will protect him."
But what's sweet and like her first moment of softness, probably that we've ever seen, she reached and touched her hand.
That is true.
Like she
I didn't
showed
even
some
notice
like
that. Yeah.
legit empathy. She
Yeah.
put
Wow.
her like hand on her hand and was like, "Don't worry."
Angela reaches and holds Kelly's hand. He will protect Ryan. No, Dwight is weird.
Yeah.
He's not
kind of a
weird.
freak.
He's individualistic. No, Dwight is a freak.
Yeah, he's a freak.
You're a freak.
And there is a woman in love. I'll
For
tell you
real,
what.
defending him regardless.
If you want to see any woman get mad, mess with her man.
I guess so. Wow.
Call her husband a freak.
That's right.
And depending on who she is, she may agree or she may get really, really mad.
Yeah.
That's right. She may just walk out on you. Back at the barn, Ryan and Dwight, they have come to the final question. What is Michael Scott's? And I love that in order to ask this question, though, he has to like sniff Ryan's hair.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
He's like burying his face in his fro.
It is getting intimate.
Oh, it is getting. There's a closeness. What is Michael Scott's greatest fear? And I think once again, great answer: loneliness, or maybe women.
Sure.
That's the pause. Loneliness. Maybe women.
But Dwight once again corrects him. That's wrong. The answer is he's afraid of nothing. I also would have accepted snakes.
I am scared of snakes as well, actually. No joke.
Really?
I hate them.
Well,
Yeah.
you're originally from Texas, right?
Yep,
So
from
you have,
Texas.
so there's proximity to snakes.
Oh my gosh, yes. And we grew up like right by a lake. And so there are water moccasins.
You see him like swimming?
Yes.
No, dude. I've only, okay, here's the
That
deal.
freaks me out. Like,
Growing
how
up-
can that do that?
Heck yeah. Growing up in California, like the most we might see is like a little like gopher snake or little like those, I think they call them like gardener snake or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean,
The
just
little green guys.
teeny tiny. Nothing to worry about. But you see on the internet, you see these like snakes that are swimming. And I'm like, I've only seen that on the internet, but you've seen that in real life.
It's
Oh,
real
I-
life.
let
It
me look this
exists, and it will make a 7-year-old cry to his mommy.
Do they
way,
attack?
dude.
Yeah, they're super deadly.
way.
And then like the other really bad ones in Texas are copperheads.
Mm-hmm.
They which sucks where I grew up like in North Central Texas because everything's just like brown all the time, and they like hide everywhere in the leaves.
way,
and then
dude.
you have like rattlesnakes and
Yeah.
the works. But
They're
yeah,
super
the swimming
deadly?
snakes, water moccasins,
Nah, dude.
not about it, dude.
No way.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, that's what we call them. I don't
That's
know what they're
hardcore.
actually called. That I
You know
mean,
what? Have you ever heard of a pizza moccasin?
is it that's
A
not
moccasin
real.
pizza?
That's not real. Is it really? That's when you stuff a slice of Papa John's into your roommate's slipper. Oh, you just got pizza moccasin.
Andy, for some reason growing up, you have heard of a French bread pizza, have you not?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, for some reason.
I have dabbled with
Okay,
some bread. I'll tell you that.
Actually, this is a great conversation, rabbit trail. Okay, and
do
we're going a little bit long here,
No,
but
we're-
it's our
I
first
don't even
episode
know what
back.
a
We're
snake
doing it.
moccasin
That's
is.
right.
So
20
if that exists, then this exists.
Yeah.
2020
Also,
goals.
That was
That's right.
That was funny.
Andy's dying still.
We're getting up there in time, but it's our first episode back in 2020, so we're going to give you a little bonus here. Okay, so
I
rabbit
know
trail.
about pizza
So
moccasins.
rabbit trail. You friend have heard of a French bread pizza?
Yeah, French bread.
Sure. Okay, listener, You've heard of a French bread pizza. I've heard of a French bread pizza.
gosh.
So listener, Caleb, and Rob, we've all heard of the French bread
Hey,
pizza.
I've heard of it too.
Hang on, you're not in this yet. We're all
Stay
on
over
the
there
same
with your
page.
pizza moccasin.
Exactly. For some reason, growing up, she knew it as the moccasin pizza
Moccasin, yes, it's a
No!
thing.
Or a-
Moccasin pizza.
or a pizza moccasin.
I have never heard of
What?
that.
Now, here's the other thing that this sort of I want to spiral off into and just ask this question. When you go to the store, okay, and you're going to buy a bottle of soda,
Yeah.
okay, what do you call that? Like, hey, I'm gonna that it's about this size.
I'm gonna go get a 2-liter.
Thank you.
It's a
I'm
2-liter
gonna get
soda.
You
I'm
set him up.
Hang on. I'm
No,
gonna go.
that's what
I'm
they
gonna
call
go.
it.
Yeah. Hey, will you go pick up a 2-liter
Yep.
of Pepsi, 2-liter of Coke, something like
Yep.
that. 2-liter. Andy, help us understand. If you were gonna go to the store, what would you pick up?
I'd get a boss.
It's called a boss.
I'd get a boss. give me
A
a
boss?
boss.
No.
Yes.
Like, she better come back home with Bruce Springsteen. That's all I'm saying. That's so ridiculous.
I came back with the boss.
Yeah, I got the boss here. He's right here. He's born in
Get a
USA.
boss of Coke or a boss of Sprite. You just get
Oh my gosh.
you just get a boss.
Oh, going even further
It's
down this rabbit
ridiculous.
hole. Everything in Texas is Coke, no matter what the actual name is. Like, my mom would be like, "What kind of Coke you want?" Like, you just everything is Coke.
Wait, I thought in the South you called it pop.
No, that's North. Like, that's like Midwest North. Like,
Oh,
I
thank
bet
you.
like Adam has called soda pop a lot. in his
thank you,
life.
Jesus.
Like, yeah, everything in Texas is a Coke.
Who calls it a boss? Where did I get that from?
I have no idea.
I
I had never heard that until I met you.
I
or
thought
moccasin pizza.
Moccasin pizza is a thing, y'all.
a boss is the
Let me
last
know.
word I was
Thank
expecting
you.
to come out of your mouth.
Thank you, Caleb.
explaining the story.
So
That's
good.
so crazy.
Okay, I know people call it a boss, and I know that people know what moccasin pizza is.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right.
And I know
Cool.
that I'm in the
You-
mood for
you
some
and your
moccasin
mother,
pizza
so
right
there you
now.
It's a family thing. So we go. What is Michael Scott's greatest fear? Nothing, or maybe snakes. So Dwight basically says, "Look, it's all about fear. You have to vanquish fear. You have to wrestle fear to the ground." He hits the play button on the boombox. Wrestle my cousin Mose.
Yes.
Mose comes out in a sweatshirt with the word fear taped on it. And goes into like a decent wrestling stance.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you know,
very like
Very
1930s.
rehearsed.
Like,
They probably practiced the night before.
yeah.
And Ryan is not having it. He's like, "I'm not doing this. I'm out of here." And before he walks out, Dwight is like, "Dude, I'm sorry. Okay, just get in the coffin."
Please.
What do you think the coffin is about? Is it like,
I
Like
don't.
you gotta die to yourself.
I don't think
You gotta-
it's gotta die to yourself. But I'm trying to think in a sales world of how I would try to use the analogy of somebody dying in a coffin. I don't
Yeah.
know. I would probably
Oh,
say
maybe
like
your
sales kills you
fears?
over time.
Oh,
there you go. There you go.
a
Love it.
great onboarding
I
process.
don't know.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna die.
You're gonna love it, and your soul will whittle.
There you go. Speaking of whittling, so Ryan is walking down the road. He's trying to walk home. Dwight is coming up behind him in his car.
Yep.
He's trying to apologize. He's also saying that Mose was really sorry, and to prove how sorry he was, he sent a basket of eggs,
Kind. That's amazing.
some fatback bacon,
I
Love
mean,
it.
even better.
Breakfast.
and then
Yes.
something he whittled. And it looks like some sort of fertility goddess.
It's like a naked man.
It looks
no, that's
like,
a naked lady.
It looks like a morbidly obese, like
The word is voluptuous.
sure,
I mean,
voluptuous.
that is such a beautiful word.
It looks.
Voluptuous.
I don't even know. Yeah,
It is a
But
voluptuous piece of wood.
It's a
name
naked
of our next
Midwestern
child.
lady.
There you go. There you go. All I have to say is if anybody ever wants to apologize to me, I'm pretty easy to win over.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you're definitely going to succeed if there's eggs and fatback bacon.
I'm
not gonna lie.
telling you,
That's so good.
especially like a homemade gift. That's
Oh, yeah.
wonderful.
So
Well, no,
thoughtful.
I could do without the whittling. I could do without the voluptuous woman.
You know, if somebody whittled me something, I'd take it.
Okay.
That's sweet.
All
Well, that's good to know.
I mean,
Listeners at home.
Get on
if
it.
it's a
listeners.
naked person, that's a little uncomfortable, but I'm still grateful for the gesture.
Excellent. So the Nard dog back in Stamford is walking back to his desk. And just a quick little sidebar here. If you, this is happening, and if you pause at 12 minutes and 43 seconds, standing at the copy machine is what can only be described as
Stop.
a Pam clone.
Yeah,
No
it's
way.
like future
Now-
Is this
Pam.
for real?
Let me-
It's like
let me
Pam
pull
as a
this up.
mom.
Now, I cannot stress enough that Andy, when she saw it, said,
No.
"Hey, look."
Hey, when you said I'm going to say it, I said, don't you dare.
Andy said, "Hey, look, it's Fat Pam."
Oh my,
Jerk.
oh my gosh.
She is.
Pam.
It is.
It's
Now,
Mom
if you're watching the video version, then actually it looks like it died. If you're watching the video version, but if you
I
dead.
pitched it
You're
like
dead
a
if you're
minute
watching
ago, so it just died on Mom Pam.
that sucks,
man.
No, if you pause it at 12 minutes 43 seconds, I
Yes.
mean, this lady is dressed as Pam.
Is that intentional on their side?
It's gotta be.
Or
Listen.
does every receptionist, is that the receptionist uniform for the office?
It could also
It
be
could be. But listen, if you're listening to this right now, driving down the highway, stuck in traffic, pull your car over right now.
that. Yes.
It's worth it.
Go to Netflix on your phone.
Yep.
Go to 1243. This is Pam.
It's Pam.
You
Even like
need
the
to
little
see
watch.
it. You need to see it.
Curly hair, everything.
It really is. I mean, I believe Pam has worn that shirt.
Yeah, like literally, I think she wore that shirt in this episode.
Maybe.
Look at Andy. Doo, doo, doo.
So Andy's walking back to his desk. I mean, maybe he went to the break room, got a little snack or a little cup of coffee, but he sits down in his chair and he has the squeaky chair. And you can just see he's about to lose his mind. It's so dang good. Oh, I love it so much. And I love if you watch Jim, when Andy looks like he's about to turn around and look over his shoulder, Jim pretends all of a sudden to look down and read the file. It's so awesome.
Because he's watching him from the top of his monitor.
Something to check on, some data I got to check on here.
Look at these data points.
That's right. So we go back to Dwight and Ryan, and they are driving home. They're done at the barn, and as they're driving home, Dwight is apologizing. And this is kind of a cool, vulnerable moment from Dwight because he's saying, Jim and I, we didn't get along. And honestly, what I was going for here is like, I just wanted you and I to be a team. I wanted you and I to just like kill this thing, like work together, be a team, and just own this. And Ryan is like, cool, but I didn't want that. I just want to go on a sales call. To which I love his response is, screw gun, the sales call. He totally forgot.
Slams the brake in the middle of the road.
Just U-turns it, and they got to get to the sales call because they forgot all about it. We go back to Scranton. Michael is listening to the song Rock and Roll by Gary Glitter, and everybody is loving it.
Yep.
And he's getting productive. I think the pretzel is starting to kick in a little
It
bit.
is. It is.
And so real quick, so there's a lot of cuts here. We cut back to Dwight and Ryan. They're rushing to the sales call. And Dwight is giving some great tangible advice. Talk about real dollars. Control the conversation.
Yeah.
Michael always said, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And I love this. Great advice always hurts my feelings every time. But once again,
Ryan pulls out his notepad and starts writing this down because he's like, "Oh my gosh,
He's like,
this
"Now
is
it's
actually
started.
like
Here you go."
really great advice."
here's the good stuff. Yeah. And he should have been writing it down from the very beginning. I'm going to put my seed in you. Write it down. Anyways, so we got a clip here because we come back to Scranton, and earlier I used the word that Michael is getting productive, but I think that might be a relative term because the pretzel is definitely kicking in, and he's definitely trying to take care of business, but I don't know how well that's going.
Hey, everyone, I am officially streamlining the efficiency of this corporation. Second, Toby. Second, I am insisting on increased accountability from every single one of you.
Michael, what's going on?
And I will be taking questions.
Did you have a lot of sugar today, Michael? What's in your suit?
Caramel dip, but one question at a time, please. Phyllis, Stanley, I want you to switch desks. I'm going to reorganize and restructure the physical layout of the office to maximize everything. I think we're getting a lot done, don't you? On paper, at least. And we are, after all, a paper company. Are we not? Are we not? Are we not? Are you with me? Are you with me? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my gosh.
So good.
So awesome. And so Ryan and Dwight, they had arrived at the sales call, and Ryan was all stoked to go. So we cut back to them, and they're actually leaving the building.
Yep.
Sales call has finished up, and it's obvious that it did not go well.
Yeah.
They did not like Ryan, and apparently they even told him to his face.
That's one of my favorite, is that he says something like, "Man, they really didn't like me," and then Dwight says, "Well, they didn't have to say it to your face."
Exactly. So messed up. But once again, a great nugget of wisdom here. Ryan is trying to reconcile what happened here. And I love that Dwight says, Ryan, not everything is a lesson. Sometimes you just fail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, once again, freaking Dwight.
That is so deep.
It's good, right?
It's great.
You know, like, I just love that. I thought that was really cool. Ryan, though, is not so easily convinced.
Yeah.
He grabs the basket of eggs that Mose gave him and just starts throwing them at the building, and Dwight loves this.
Yes.
My BFFs right there.
Yeah, you're like, Andy's like a big toilet paper
Oh, I'm
person.
I'm a big TP fan.
I'm a TP.
Like anytime I can get a couple of people to go with me for a night TP run,
She's down
that's
to TP.
a good night for me.
Did you guys ever go forking in high
Yes!
school? Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know this man. We have a friend named Rick Henderson, and nothing drove that man more crazy than waking up to a forked lawn.
I love that. Have you flamingoed somebody's house?
Is that
Where you just get a bunch of like the
fun.
dollar flamingo,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the crappy plastic ones, and just stick them all in their yard. The worst one though, this is the worst one that I've seen. You put like thousands of rubber bands on
Okay, that's
somebody's
awesome.
driveway
How?
because this is what's so awful about it. On the driveway, you cannot
just loose?
Yeah,
You can't sweep it.
you can't sweep them off because they grab the concrete because it's rubber bands. And so you have to like literally like pick them up one by one to get rid of them.
That's the worst.
It is like the worst thing ever.
Can you just throw them?
Yeah, just like lay them out flat,
You
a
just-
bunch
You don't
of
need to,
them.
Just loose.
Yeah.
Throwing them out there.
Oh,
That's-
that's
And then they can't
that's
sweep 'em. They have to
good.
pick 'em all up.
Costco pack.
Okay,
of rubber
I will
bands.
say in college, one of the things that we pulled that was a pretty rough one is you get a bunch of Dixie cups
Okay.
and you staple them into 10 by 10 blocks. So it's 100 Dixie cups. You build these blocks, and then what we would do is in the dorm hallway, right out, like, so you had all these dorm rooms that like opened into a common hallway. So you'd go to the rival dorm, you'd set up these blocks of Dixie cups, and then you'd staple the blocks together,
Yeah.
and then you fill them all with water.
Oh my.
So when somebody opens their dorm room door, the entire floor is covered in Dixie cups that are full of water that are also stapled together. And if you tried to grab them and move them,
Yeah.
all of them are now stapled together. So you're going to spill like
Oh my
gallons
gosh.
of water. So the only way to clean it up is to go through and unstaple every
Oh my
Dixie cup.
gosh, that's an evil one.
It was
This
bad
one
news,
isn't
dude.
as creative,
It's
but
messed
one
up.
time we got raw chicken and we put it in the guy's dorm room toilet in each bathroom.
Like in the top or in the toilet bowl?
No, in the bowl.
Oh, you should put
In
in
the
the top.
toilet bowl.
Give all those guys
so they're
salmonella.
like pulling out
Excellent.
soppy.
That is so gross.
Yo, that's nasty.
Another
But when
really
you open
bad
it,
one.
it looks disgusting.
Ah, but
Depending
it's
on how long
gross.
it's been sitting.
This is like a really evil one. I've heard that people back in the day in colleges used to lead a cow up the stairs into a different dorm because here's the thing. Cows cannot go downstairs.
How do you get a cow?
A cow cannot like walk downstairs, but they can walk upstairs. And so like I don't
Wait.
want
How
to
do
know
you get
how they
them
probably
down?
got rid of the cows, but like
The cows now are just educated.
They're just
they
like-
never left college.
they're like, this is why I live on the third floor. I'm here
This
now.
is who I am now.
But no, in all seriousness, my favorite one we did was just arson, where you just
Oh, sure.
light somebody's house on fire.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, yes.
That's the best one you can do.
Whoa. Okay, I just literally Googled, can cows walk downstairs? It says, cows can't walk downstairs because of how their knees bend.
Yep,
Cows simply cannot climb downstairs.
they can't, but they can go
Whoa.
up.
That is so weird.
So imagine waking up on the third floor
And there's just a
with
trapped
a cow.
Poor
That just-
cow.
That cow's just hanging out there.
Awesome. Dang it, dude. So they start egging the heck out of this building. And then Dwight, it's like, rather than just playing it cool, I love that Dwight yells out, hey, courtesy of Dunder Mifflin. Like, he might as well be like, my name is Dwight Schrute.
I live at this address.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. As we cut back to Scranton, Michael the sugar has worn off. He has crashed. And I love that he has not only fallen asleep on his desk, but he's using a koosh ball as a pillow. And Jan calls and she's like, hey, what's Michael up to right now? And Pam covers
Yeah, she
beautifully.
does.
You know what? He's out on a sales call.
Yep.
Good for Pam. Man, he'll never know
What a
how awesome she
sweetheart.
was. Ryan and Dwight are celebrating the vandalism
Yeah.
so they're pounding beers, but what is this drink they're doing? Is this,
I was going to ask, fun fact, do you know the name of this drink?
No.
I had quite a few after college between my real job.
Is this the one with Red Bull?
No, it is. It's a shot glass of whiskey that you drop into
Wait, is this a Boilermaker?
mug. Yes, that is
Oh,
what
okay,
it's called.
sweet.
Yeah.
A what?
A Boilermaker.
Boilermaker.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So shot of whiskey in a beer.
Yep, you drop a shot of whiskey into a beer. But the
Excellent.
key is to drink it really fast, other than it tastes like a really gross drink.
The way that Ryan is just pounding it and
Yeah.
Dwight is not having it.
Yeah. He is. He kind of stops.
So he loses it, and but he starts chanting temp, temp, temp. But it's in that moment that he realizes no longer.
Yeah.
He's no longer a Padawan. He starts chanting Ryan, Ryan, Ryan.
that's
It's kind of a cool moment.
It is because he catches himself. He's
Yeah.
like, "No, this is over."
That's right. And I love that he's like, man, to think that temp agency could have sent you anywhere. And I love that Ryan's like, yeah, I think about that all the
I
time.
think about that all the time.
Think about
Anywhere.
it every day of my life.
So as the episode is wrapping up, Michael wakes up from his slumber and he wants to know what time it is. It is 5:20 in the PM. He wants to verify that it's not AM.
He goes AM or PM.
For real. But here's what's crazy. Pam says, hey, these contracts came in. The Coselli deal closed. And he's like, oh, yeah, Cosby. So this is the guy that he's doing the impression for. She says, Michael, this is a pretty big sale. And he's like, yeah, well, see you later. And he's walking out. So we get this impression that Michael is goofing off all day.
Yeah.
That he's not really getting anything done. He's, being productive by wanting to rearrange and like streamline the corporation or whatever. In reality, he closed a huge sale today.
He's out there closing bangers.
It's
all day.
ridiculous. So ridiculous. He's the man. But as Pam is walking out, the phone rings. She decides to answer it, and it's Jim. Jim's trying to get a hold of Kevin for some fantasy football stuff, but Pam happens to answer the phone. Small talk turns into a
Loving
conversation.
talk. I mean, what?
Which then turns into a little bit of flirting.
Yeah.
And this is
They're
kind
back.
of
Into which seems like a very long phone call, by the way.
indeed. So that's one of the questions I have for you guys. How long?
Caleb, wrap it up, wrap it up.
How long do you think they're talking for? Because if you watch the clip, when Jim initially is like, oh, hey, I was just trying to get a hold of Kevin, it is light outside of his window. You
Yeah.
can see the sun. By the time he's hanging up, it is dark outside.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm saying minimum hour.
oh, for sure.
For sure, at least an hour.
But also, we're talking about the North. I mean, it gets so dark so early.
That's true.
That's true, but they are in the same time zone. They talk
right.
about it on this
That's true.
conversation.
That's true.
I'm with you, Caleb. I think at least a good 60 minutes.
Yeah, they're talking about a lot of stuff.
Andy Rooney's got nothing on these two. That was a 60 minutes joke. Anyways, so
I just said
60 minutes
but I
joke
didn't get
for
it.
you there.
there you go. That's that good highbrow comedy. Anyways, so they're talking all kinds of stuff. They're talking about the fact that she accidentally watched 28 Days Later instead of 28 Days. Sandra Bullock.
And he's like, how do you get that confused?
This is a good way that we see sort of the era that is happening. And
Sure.
she went to Blockbuster.
I was thinking
To rent
this.
this.
I was like, holy crap. When did the last Blockbuster close? Because, I mean, it's been years at this point.
At least 5 or 6.
Like,
been a grip of
Redbox
time.
may have just started when this aired.
Sure.
Like, maybe.
So one of the things, though, that they talk about is his typing speed. Okay,
Oh, I forgot.
so he
Okay.
is. So he's talking about like, hey, what's the average typing speed? She's like, Pam says, I type 90 words a minute.
Which is like, that's a robot.
That's insane.
Truly. That's like fingers flying.
Yeah.
It's like AI.
And then Jim is like, what's the average? And she's like, maybe 70. And then he's super embarrassed. He got a 65.
Yeah.
So we decided as a fun thing, we're going to go to, I think the website was like Type Hero or Hero Type.
Let me pull it up.
That thing is fake and rigged. It was Type Hero.
TypeHero.com. And we each took a typing test.
Yes.
And got our score. And we have not revealed this to each other. We're about to find out who was the fastest
Key hero
of the day. So why don't we start with Andy? What'd you
Oh, gosh.
what'd you get?
Fine. It was pretty. I don't know what the average is, but it was only 55.
You got a 55?
Oh, shut up.
WPM? Are you serious?
Are you joking?
You got a 50.
Are you joking?
I was going, yeah.
Okay, so they give you
Okay, but I was 98% accurate.
Okay, so yeah, they give you a word per minute, but then they give you an accuracy percentage. So you got a 55.
Is that bad or good?
I mean, that's less than Jim Halpert. That's
Okay,
pretty-
that's bad. That's bad. I know.
Okay.
I tell you, less than
Caleb
Jim.
Polk.
I got a 60.2.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh, what is wrong with me? Is it my nails?
I don't know.
What's funny is normal nails here.
Yeah,
I don't
I
have,
was
like,
looking at your
fancy
nails. I was like, this looks like mine. I don't know.
It's my nails.
And then my accuracy was 95.6.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
So we got a 55 and a 60.2.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No.
There's no way.
the victor.
90.
The
88.
victor of the typing test.
You didn't get more than 80.
With an accuracy of 97.76%.
Okay.
And a word per minute rating of 75.94.
Whoa.
How?
Mr. Rob.
Well
Why
done,
am I
sir.
super slow? I feel like it should
Well
be
done.
noted. This is my job.
I can't believe you got a 55.
This is what I do.
cool.
Okay, can I add?
But to be honest, no, that's cool.
Oh, shut up. Can I add
no,
context
that's
to
what's
this?
up.
And
That's what's
Rob
up.
could amen this.
Respectable.
Every single time I took the test, I was interrupted.
Okay,
Oh my God.
Every single time.
Okay,
that's
can
not
I
true.
use the mom card
Rob
here?
Even came, no, Rob. Are you kidding me? It was Rob.
No.
One time, Rob even came over
Rob distracting you.
and was talking to me, and I was
No.
like, "Shut up! I didn't do this to you.
No.
Shut up! I wasn't." And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna blame me?" I'm like,
No.
You're having a conversation.
Here's what.
with
So here's the truth of what happened.
Yeah.
every time.
I finished my test and I got up and walked from the kitchen table to the sink and back, and she was like, "Well, it's because you're moving around."
Oh my
No,
God.
he
And
was
I said, "Oh yeah, because people walking from one spot to the other while you're typing would never happen in
Yo,
the office."
he
That-
was
that doesn't
talking
happen.
to me. He was like asking me questions. Oh,
No.
are you doing it?
It doesn't
Is this-
happen in
what-
Scranton.
He
You just
was
wheel around like
talking.
Jim.
There you go. See, it's good. Anyways,
All right, I'm gonna retake this thing tomorrow. All
right.
We'll be back next week.
We'll do
I'm,
it. That's
I'm
awesome.
curious to
Can you get better at
to
it?
the highest listener.
No, you can't. You're born with a certain word per minute, and then that's all you can do.
You are branded with this for the rest of your life.
Believe it or not, you can't get better or worse. It's weird. It's one of those things in life.
You're right where you need to be.
It's just who you are.
That's so awesome. So,
I'm curious who has the record, like the world
oh,
record.
dude,
It's Rob.
no. Pam can do 90.
90 is insane.
Let's Google what's the fastest
I can fake
WPM record.
I can't think of anything that would be higher than that.
Oh, dude, you're not going to believe this. The highest typing speed ever recorded was 216
that is not even real.
words per minute, set by Stella Pahunas in 1946 using
They didn't even have computers.
using an IBM electric typewriter.
What the heck?
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
dude.
That's the
insane.
You
highest.
can't do that on a typewriter.
That
you can.
record is almost 80 years old.
Tell that to Stella.
That is crazy.
That woman.
You learn something new every time you listen, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I need to practice my typing. That's what I learned.
So this time we've learned the fastest word per minute, and we've learned the origin of cupcakes. It's good for you. So let's wrap this up. So Ryan, while
much
they're on the
knowledge.
phone, Ryan walks in and he's looking like he's had a long, hard day. And Pam wants to check on him, and she's saying, "Hey, are you okay?" Yeah. And as he's walking out, Pam says, "Okay, bye." Jim is like, "Oh, you got to go." There's this confusion. They realize, all right, we need to wrap this up. They end the call, and there's just this look of like, I mean, how would you describe it? There's this look of like,
It's like unfinished business almost.
That's
It's
a great way
like-
to put it.
And that's not a perfect way to describe it, but you could tell in the confusion, they both kind of realized like, oh, we're both confused, but we also don't want to get off the phone, but we've also said bye.
yeah,
And it's this weird tension.
I love it.
And love to
It's
see
that
it. Love to
good
see it.
like dating beginning.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know how you feel
They're
like when you're
restarting.
around the one you like. You're like, this feels real nice.
Yeah.
So the very last clip we get is Stanley saying 364 days to the next pretzel day.
Not for
Stanley.
us, Stanley.
And I think
Not
we are
for
finding
us.
this man is holding on for dear life by a delicious salt-covered thread because pretzel day is the only thing that's keeping him going.
If you're at home right now and your drive in life is a salty pretzel, we're
Good
with you.
luck to ya.
We're with you.
There you go.
But come on.
Come on.
That's scary.
So that brings us to the end of the episode, and as always, we throw it out to you guys, and we want to hear what is your favorite moments. So a couple here from Instagram, True Jedi 48, Pretzel Day, obviously, and Jim and Pam talking at the end.
Yep.
So cute, so cute.
This is a good little part.
Tiger Hunter said, when Dwight totally forgets about the sales call. So, screw gun. I love that.
Someone
start saying it.
Screw gun.
That's right. And of course, tried and true. Even after 2 months away, starting 2020 off right, tried and true, Mr. at Tromboner Man.
Hello.
Yes.
Says, his favorite part was, I'm officially streamlining the efficiency of this corporation. Second, Toby. Second, Michael. Yes, second, Toby. So
it is great. That's a good one.
Some good stuff there.
Nobody said fatback bacon?
Nobody.
Come on
that was
now.
my favorite part.
I love it.
It's easy. It's hard to beat. Anyways, so
My favorite part. No cuts.
no cuts.
No cuts.
Yeah, them booing Phyllis and Bob Vance is pretty
That's
good.
right.
It's gutsy.
Yeah.
Gutsy. So usually we would take this time to look at a prank that Jim pulled, but he did not do one this time. And so just looking at the leaderboard, still in first place with 26 Shroot Bucks. Season 2, Episode 6, The Fight. Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom, a.k.a. Poop Desk, as
Poop
Andy likes to call it. There you go.
Reigning champ.
Reigning champion. Now, we like to head over to that good Dunder Mifflin subreddit and take a look at some quality content that's being provided over there and give a little Dundie. So this is, if you take a look in the show notes, there's a link there that you can click that says Dundie Winner, and it'll take you to this post by user, I believe it's L. Luis MG, posted 13 hours ago as of this recording. I did sort by new, by the way. Only 16 upvotes.
Weak.
It's going to get there. We're going to get it there.
Yep.
So the title is Comic Sans Bad, but it's a picture of a draw 4 from Uno that says, watch Scott's Tots or draw 25. And then the next panel is a guy holding so many cards.
It's like basically the whole Uno deck.
That's right. It's like, I am not going to watch Scott's Tots. I don't think Scott's Tots is that bad.
I literally skip it every time. I don't even watch it. I hate it. My wife knows I hate it. I can't watch it.
I get that it's cringe.
It is.
But I love it so much.
It's like, but for me, it's like past the point of like fun cringe to like, I am almost witnessing a murder.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is it, and maybe there's something personal inside of me because I think I've shared this on our Patreon that I had an onstage drama, like I was in a play.
Okay.
I had an onstage drama moment that was like pretty cringy. For me, Scott's Tots does not touch, and I don't want to spoil, but Scott's Tots does not touch Andy Bernard in Sweeney Todd. Like, do you remember that?
I love that though.
Oh, that's so hard to
like
watch.
to me, that's like the fun cringe for me. Like that one's a fun one.
That one is so dang
Scott's
bad.
Tots is rough.
It is rough. And you know, maybe I'm not remembering it. When we get to it, maybe it'll refresh my memory. But,
it's gonna refresh all right.
But I love the first comment is, yeah, let me draw 25. So yeah, user L. Luis MG, you're going to get a Dundie, and everybody head over there and let them know.
Way to go, sir.
That's right. That's right. All right, so that brings us to the end of the episode, and a little bit of a long one, but guys, we're glad to be back. Thank you for your patience, and hope you're enjoying the episode, and we're looking forward to bringing you more of that good stuff as we head into 2020.
Yeah,
that's
good
right.
to be back.
So, as always, I want to say thanks for listening. Make sure you leave us a rating on iTunes. A good 5-star will get you read live on the air. Subscribe, tell a friend. Check us out at Patreon, patreon.com/anofficepod. And tonight, as for the after party, we're talking. We're just doing a little bit of a life update. We're talking New Year's resolutions and some of the stuff that happened in between, October 22nd and today. So give that a listen. Come on over to Patreon and check that out. And as always, your homework for this week. Number 1, I want you to go watch Season 3, Episode 6, Diwali. We'll be breaking that down next week. And do yourself a favor. Go just cook up a mess of fatback bacon. You're not going to... You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. That's going to be a great way to spend
Whittle
it.
yourself something nice.
That's right. That's right. Hey, and so until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Andy.
And this was
Everybody in the Conference Room.
All right, let's head over to Poor Richards.